Hey guys, my name is Lynch and I'm the head coach here at Progress B Performance Cycling Coaching, helping to make you the fittest, fastest and strongest cyclist you've ever been. Today I want to talk to you guys about how to calculate your power-based training zones based on your FTP. If you missed my last video where I spoke about how to test your FTP, I'll leave a link in the card above here so you can check that one out. So let's begin now that you have your FTP from any of the tests that I listed in a previous video, which I'll also link to right now. Here I'll be using the 7-zone method, which is most commonly used throughout the sport, with zone 1 being the easiest effort and zone 7 being a maximal. Zone 1, or active recovery, is 55% or less of your functional threshold power. The perceived rate of exertion of this effort should be less than a 2 out of 10. This really is as easy as you can go. Often people will go for a walk or a hike for these scheduled sessions. A zone 1 session on the bike can vary from 30 to 90 minutes. This zone is extremely important to all cyclists, no matter what your fitness level, and is often overlooked. Zone 2, or endurance, is between 56 and 75% of your FTP. The perceived rate of exertion of this effort should be between 2 and 3 out of 10. The aim of training in this zone is building muscular endurance. A zone 2 session can vary from 60 to 300 minutes, which is also 5 hours. This is the zone that athletes will spend most of their time in, no matter what training plan they follow. Zone 3, or tempo, is between 76 and 90% of your FTP. The perceived rate of exertion of this effort should be between 3 and 4 out of 10. The aim of training in this zone is increased muscle glycogen storage. However, this training zone is not sustainable long term. A typical duration of a continuous ride for zone 3 can vary from 60 to 180 minutes, or 3 hours. Zone 4, or threshold, is between 95 and 105% of your functional threshold power. The perceived rate of exertion of this effort should be about 4 to 5 out of 10. The aim of training in this zone is increased muscle mitochondrial enzymes, as well as increased lactate threshold. For anyone who is unsure, mitochondrial enzymes are the cells in your muscles that make energy. A typical duration of an interval in zone 4 can vary from 8 to 30 minutes. Zone 5, or VO2 max, is between 106 and 120% of your FTP. The perceived rate of exertion of this effort should be about a 6 to 7 out of 10. The aim of training in this zone is increased maximal cardiac output and increased VO2 max. A typical duration of an interval in zone 5 can vary from 3 to 8 minutes. Zone 6, or anaerobic capacity, is between 121 and 150% of your functional threshold power. The perceived rate of exertion of this effort should be a 7 or greater out of 10. The aim of training in this zone is increased lactate tolerance. A typical duration of an interval in zone 6 can vary from 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Zone 7, or neuromuscular power, is anything above 151% of your FTP. The perceived rate of exertion of this effort should be maximal. The aim of training in this zone is increased neuromuscular power. A typical duration of an interval in zone 7 can vary from anything to 30 seconds or less. So I'm going to put on screen now an example of a rider's training zones with an FTP of 290 watts. So that's it for me today, guys. So subscribe and stay tuned for my next video, which should be on how to set your goals for cycling. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it useful. If you did, please leave a like, as well as sharing it with someone else who you think might find it useful. And until next time, remember, ride as much or as little, as long or as short as you feel, but ride.